Hello everyone. Hello YouTube, Facebook. Welcome to my $1,000,000 dream. My name is Dave Taotua. I'm a Samoan born American, born and raised in Samoa, then moved here when I was 19. Served a mission for 2 years in Oakland, California. Then I went back home and came back in '94, and I've been live here permanently since then. Um, my dream. Well, I had many dreams. I'm more of a, I'm a dreamer. I dream, I think it, then do it. Think it, then do it. Uh, my whole entire life was that way. Sometimes it's an advantage, sometimes it is an advantage, but mostly it's an advantage. Um, uh, I'm a doer. You know, whatever I think, I do, and that has gotten me. Uh, that has gotten me a long way in America. Um, I've been blessed with that type of character or that type of uh, personality. Um, it doesn't give me time to think. One of my friends was saying, the good thing about you, Dave, is that you're too dumb to think make you smart. Something to that extent. He said, the reason why you're smart because you're too dumb to think. You just jumped in it and do it. And sometimes that's the way to go, you know, because when you too much thinking, you're gonna scare yourself out of the great idea. So why am I telling you this? It's because that's how my dream comes true. Because the moment I think it, I dream it, then I jumped in it and do it. And so far, I'm 99% on it. It works for me. Except this last one dream. But this one here is a big one. It's a $10 million dream. But I have faith that anything is possible. If I've already accomplished the other 99, what's this one? You know, 10 million is just a number. It looks scary because it's just a big number. But before I get to the $10 million, I'm going to tell you what my dream is about. My dream is about the betterment of my Samoan people. And why do I want to help my Samoan people? It's because uh, living moving here in the United States and enjoying all the opportunities and all the amenities and the love and support of American people. I have never been to to a country where people uh, are open-handed. They open their arms and greeted you to come in. When I first moved here in '94 for good, I didn't have any families. I came here wondering where I'm going to be. Not even a dollar to my name, not even a penny, just the clothes on my back, and that's it. But there was a couple that promised me, said, you can come and stay with us, and don't worry about a job. We'll find you a job. I arrived at their house on a Friday evening, and I start working on a Monday. And these people were more parents to me than my own true parents and my own real parents. Um, I called them mom and dad. 5 o'clock in the morning before we go to work. He was a superintendent for a union job, carpenter, construction job, and he hired me on as a carpenter apprentice. Started out at $8 an hour, which $8 an hour, that's how much I was making a week in Samoa. Uh, in the job, 40 hour week job, and I'm making this in an hour in here. So blessings right there on the spot. Boom! I win a lotto, in my own thoughts, in my own ways. Um, 5 o'clock in the morning, she wakes me up. She already have, you know, either some sandwiches on the table for breakfast, or some eggs already cooked, or some oatmeal, or some like she's cooking for her own son. And then she'll have my lunch box, food in it for lunch, and then here I go to work. So from day one, strangers were so good to me. Then I worked for different companies as an apprentice for 4 years, and I was never out of work. I'll knock on a company's job and I say, "Hey, I'm looking for work." They're like, "Sure, we'll give you work." Matter of fact, I bought my first house a year later. I came in '94, July '94, and I bought a house in December '95. A year later, I worked security at night and I worked construction today to save up $10,000 for a down payment, and I did it. That's one of to me that was a record. A year later, I bought a house in America, uh, which is an American dream. Right before I closed escrow on that house, the job I was working at finished, because union jobs, when they're done, you have to go to the union hall, sign up, and start it again, find another job. So I couldn't close escrow because I don't have a job. I needed a job, so I saw this the Cypress Freeway in Oakland that collapsed during the '89 earthquake. Well, the rebuilding of that, they just barely breaking ground, getting ready to rebuild that. So I knock on the door of this superintendent, and I said, "Sir, I'm looking for a job." And he looks at me and he said, "Well, we're not hiring right now because we just barely breaking ground." Um, so he asked me what my name was. I told it to him until I said to him, "Well, I just bought this house and I'm getting ready to close escrow, but I can't close escrow unless I have a job." He stands there and he looks at me. He has cowboy boots, cowboy hat on. He was around my height. And he says to me, "You know, you kind of build like me. You're short like me. Uh, I can tell you're hardworking like me too. So I'll tell you what. Run into the office there and tell that girl there. Tell that girl your social security number, your address and phone and everything. Then I'm going to put you on my payroll roster that you already work for us, so you can close your escrow. But we're not going to start needing you until like a month later, but at least have you on our, and I'm telling it to you because this is how I've been treated in America." And that was my second year in America. So, yeah, second year at work as an apprentice. So I was grateful. I looked at him and he looks at me and said, "Well, go ahead. I'll give you a call within a month." I went home. I was happy as heck. I told the wife and said, "Hey, well, no worries. I got a job." 2 days later, he calls me up and he said, "Hey, you want to work?" I'm like, "Sure, I want to work." I work the next, 2 days later, I work. And my job was, since they didn't have any apprenticeship or carpenter jobs, he gave me a work truck. And he said, "You drive around the whole job site. If you see something's unsafe, you put a rope on it or put a caution tape on it. And then you come and tell the safety guy, and then you guys can go fix." So I became the safety guy, driving around in a company truck for a whole year before construction really, really starts. So these are the blessings that I'm talking about that American people has given me. These are the opportunities that American people has given me. Um, so those are the type of opportunities I want to give my Samoan people, so they can experience what I've gone through from this great country. I want to create opportunities for them. But in order for me to do that, I need money. And I started out with the Samoan community. I challenged all the Samoans. I said, if there's a million of us at $10, that's $10 million. And what I told them is that instead of us taking this $10 million and use it one time, it's a smart thing for us to take this $1 million, invest it somewhere. Which, since I've been in construction, I've been a contractor now for 20 years. I've been building homes for 20 years. I'm familiar with the real estates. So $10 million, buy some condominiums or some multi-unit apartments, and then you take all the rents from here. I'm looking at maybe taking 10% out of this $10 million, and then use this 10% to to donate to whichever programs that we see fits. In that way, this $10 million will never ever waste it. That $10 million, it's going to grow, and that $10 million is going to produce every single year. So whatever programs that we are going to work on and support, it will never end. It will go on and on and on. And that's what my $10 million dream is. So I can uh, share what I've gone through in America with my people, so they can be blessed with what I've been blessed with. And the problem, though, with my Samoan challenge was it's not even a million of us. The Samoans is a small community. And with people that I think that are capable, I did the math, I might be lucky to have 100,000 people that are capable of donating or capable of such a thing. So I figured, well, why don't I call upon my American people? They're the one that make my other dreams come true. I'm sure they can help. With my math, I figure that there is 320,000, 300 over 320 million Americans, and then Americans on YouTube, which is where this video is. There is 187 million of us on YouTube. So to gain $10 million, all I need is a million people with $10, 10 million people with $1, or whatever donation you can make. Or at least I can get close to that number. The reason why I want such a huge number is because I'm only expecting 10% of that number in return to use. So 10% of 10 million is $1 million. So $1 million, it's good enough for a year budget for this kind of for what I have in mind. Because I would like to reinforce the Samoans uh, rugby team. The rugby team, it's a very good, because that's one of their main source of having the kids come out of the country, have them get contracts to other countries. So I would like to support the rugby team called the Manu Samoa with some of the funds. I would like to bring uh, their potential. It's not, they're not quite at their potential. Let's put it that way, because the funds and the resources are not there, not quite there yet. So if I can help bring them to maximize their potential, uh, that would be a great thing. There's so many different ways. I would like to introduce American football in that part of Samoa, independent Samoa. Uh, American football is huge in American Samoa, and people are making good living. As we all know here, there's a lot of football players coming from American Samoa and Hawaii, but independent Samoa is a lot bigger than American Samoa, and there's a lot more schools in American in independent Samoa. So if we can introduce that to there, I think the reason why they haven't, I think I saw some of the professional football players went to the islands one time and introduced a little bit, but uh, it's not a continuous thing. I think they just did it one time and that's it. But that's why I would like to have this $10 million invested, so that funds can roll over and grow, and we get it every year and it's continuous. So I can introduce, if I introduce football in Western Samoa or independent Samoa, it's not going to stop. It's going to go until we get some kids out of there, and then and hopefully we'll have some through this video we'll have some of the the people that go out and scout the football players and stuff like that, or high school kids. Maybe I can you guys can help me with your donations because this it's going to benefit you anyway. NFL, same way. We are through this program, we are going to be breeding a bunch of rugby players, football players, boxers, MMAs, wrestlers. You know, so it kind of serves the purpose of everyone. And at the same time, gives them opportunities like I did to come here. Um, so that's pretty much what I have in mind for that $10 million. $10 million. I'm not going to use it right away because it's going to go to waste. I'm going to roll it over to an investment funds, buy some real estate with it, and then the rents from this real estates. That's what I'm going to use. So this money stays there. So your $10 donation or your dollar donation or whatever you're willing to donate will never stop. That will make history for us, the Samoan people, because I'm hoping one day that money will grow to the point to where it's gonna bail my country out through all the. I'm hoping because I'm envisioning something further out than just rugby and opportunities. I would also like to help my country get out of debt. You know, China is doing what it's best at. You know, business. Chinese people are business people. They're in there for money and growth and power. You know, it's but I don't want my country to be a product of debts. You know, because loans are fun if you can afford it. But if you the moment you can't afford loans, you're doomed. You know, your brand new car is going to be repossessed, or get bankrupt. So that's what I fear. But $10 million a good start. You know, hopefully within 100 years from now, it will be, you know, in the $100 million. Um, so those are my only humble hopes, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna put all the donations gonna be through your PayPal account. I'm gonna put up my email address, my PayPal email address, and for those that have larger donations than $10, or like maybe 100, maybe 1,000, or if you wanna wire it straight into my account, I'll be more than happy to provide the account number. You can write checks. Um, uh, you know, big companies. For if you're making a lot of money this year or next year or whatever, and finding in your heart you would like to donate some money to find a charity company or non-profit organization to donate your money to, please wanna voluntarily, we'll take it. And I'm hoping that once the money rolls in every week, because in order for me to get $10 million within a year, in the next 12 months, that means there's going to be a lot of money coming in every week. So I am planning to put up video like this every week, and I would like to name of the people that donated and the amount. I would like to name it all out, so that way we can uh, keep in track of the funds. So that way, through accountability and transparency, we can all have each other's trust in this. We can all work together. So that way you can kind of keep me honest, keep me on my toes. But I'm hoping for you to help out and see this as a good cause. And like I said, it won't go to waste. This money is going to be forever. Uh, it's going to be part of history. If this can do so much for my country, I mean, I'm hoping that this eventually will do something big for my country. Because I know that we don't have any, I don't think Samoa has any investments overseas in any type. So they don't really have income comes out of their investments. But the only incomes they're getting is just through the agriculture, tourism, and the money that Samoans sent there. But with uh, with weather changing, uh, what is it? Well, forgot. I keep forgetting this word that covers the weathers and stuff like that. It's been all over the place, but I think I'm brain dead right now. You know, if 2 years hurricanes and tsunami hit Samoa 2 years in a row, um, they'll be broke. There's no money. There's nothing to turn to, other than donations and help from overseas. And hopefully one day, with these funds I'm starting, maybe some other people will start something like this, and maybe the government itself will notice this, and maybe they'll try it. I don't know if they make any money at all, if they have any money put away, but to me, it makes more money. It makes more sense to invest it out here in the U.S. or whichever country has a better return for their money instead of just sitting there and not making any money out of it. Maybe eventually they're gonna be real independent one day instead of, you know, yes, we were independent in 1962, but are we really independent? Mm, I don't think so. To me, I don't think so. When you can stand on your own 2 feet and support your own self and finance your own projects, and then to me that's independent. But for the time being, I don't know. I would like to help my people stay pure and be free from all the influence of outsiders and superpowers from outside coming in. It's very sweet to have that candy, but that candy in the same time will take you'll rotten out your teeth. So those are my hopes. I will this video is getting too long, but please leave comments and please help me out. All I'm asking is $5, $10, $2, anything. Um, I would like to reach $10 million within 12 months, so we can start buying some stuff and start get this going. I can't do it without you, uh, and I have no doubt that there is a lot of good people in America. Like I said, they pretty much make me. You know, they made me who I am now. So I know there is a lot of good people in America. Um, I'm looking forward to working with you. I thank you in advance for your love and support. We'll talk again. God bless, and we'll see you soon.